Welcome, welcome, viewers. It's Storytime Sunday time, and I'm sure you all are wondering why I'm wearing this silly looking hat. Tonight's book is Goodnight, Goodnight construction site, and I just happened to work for a construction company, so I thought this was a very appropriate book for me to read. And this is my hard hat. And when I go to visit our work sites, I wear this so that nothing falls on my head and hurts me. And if it does fall on my head, it doesn't hurt me. So it's very hard and made of plastic, and there's cushioning inside so that if something falls on my head, it gives a little bit of bounce so that it can't hurt my noggin. And I'd also wear a really bright vest or something like that to let people know that I'm there as part of the site work. And in the book we're reading today, we're going to learn all about construction sites and all the different machines that help construction sites work. So I figured this was a good book for me to read. And we'll give it just a few more minutes. Like I said, we are here at our new home, so we want to make sure that we give people enough time to come on by and join us. Please make sure that you say hello so that I know you're here. Just a few more minutes. I'm seeing eyeballs come in and out, so I don't know how many people are actually in the room watching at this point. Ryan, I know you're watching. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Because for some reason, I don't know that chat is showing up for me. Hi everybody who's joining us, welcome. All right, I think it's about time to get started. So I'm going to start with this evening's book. And for those of you just joining, thinking to yourselves, what is she wearing on her head? This is a construction helmet. And because we're reading Goodnight, Goodnight construction site, I decided to wear my construction hat, which I actually work for a construction company. So this was kind of perfect for this evening. So again, tonight's book is Goodnight, Goodnight construction site. And it is by Sherri, Duskey, Rinker, and Tom Lichtenheld. And they are New York Times best-selling authors. Goodnight, Goodnight construction site. Down on the big construction site, the tough trucks work with all their might. To build a building, make a road, to get the job done, load by load. See all those different kinds of vehicles? There's all kinds of different vehicles that help work a construction site. The sun has set, the work is done. It's time for trucks to end their fun. So one by one they'll go to bed to yawn and rest their sleepy heads. Then wake up to another day of rough and tough construction play. See all those different vehicles? I wonder what they all do. pretty sunset. Working hard to help his team, Crane Truck raises one last beam. Reaching, stretching, lifting high, he swings the beam into the sky. He'll set it down right on its mark. Then off to bed. It's almost dark. It's almost dark. See, there's Crane Truck. He's lifting the beam up with his crane and then placing it down right where it belongs. He slowly folds his boom back in, and then with one last sleepy grin, he tucks himself in a nice and tight, then cuddles up and says, "Good night." Shh. Good night, Crane Truck. Good night. So this long thing here is called a boom, and that's what he pulls back when he goes to sleep. Spinning, churning all day long, cement mixer sings his whirly song. Now he's weary and so dizzy from the fun that keeps him busy. With one last spin, he pours the load. He's ready now to leave the road. This is cement mixer. So the cement and the water goes in here, and it turns and it turns and it turns all day, and then it pours out the side, right here. Pours out the side. And that is how they pour cement. And then it dries really, really hard so you can walk on it. And that's typically what we put our houses on. That's what they build foundations out of. He takes a bath, gets shiny bright, pulls up his chute, turns off his light. He cuts his engine, slows his drum, and dreams sweet dreams of twirly fun. Shh. Good night, cement mixer. Good night. Dump truck loves to work and haul. He carries loads both big and small. He moves the dirt from place to place, then dumps it with a happy face. One final load spills on the heap. Crunch! Now dump truck's tired and wants to sleep. It's got a lot of stuff to haul, huh? He lowers his bed, locks his gate, rests his wheels. It's getting late. He dims his light, then shuts his doors, and soon his giant engine slows to snores. Shh. Good night, dump truck. Good night. Isn't it funny that the part of a dump truck is called a bed? And he lowers his bed to go to sleep. Pushing with his mighty blade, Bulldozer works to smooth the grade. He clears the way to level ground and fills the air with thunderous sound. Roar! No one's as tough and strong as he, but now he's as sleepy as can be. Oh boy, Bulldozer's big, big. He puffs some smoke out of his stack, turns off his engine, stops his track. He curls into his soft dirt bed and dreams of busy days ahead. Shh. Good night, Bulldozer. Good night. Would you like to sleep in a soft bed of dirt, just like Bulldozer? I bet it's pretty soft. Scooping gravel, dirt, and sand, Excavator shapes the land. He digs and lifts throughout the day. Ugh! But now it's time to end his play. A few more holes to dig, and soon he'll roll to bed beneath the moon. So that is called an excavator, because he excavates the land. I'm sure you've seen this one out and about. These are typically the ones that you see around construction sites, right? He twirls upon his bumpy track, pulls up his boom, stretches his back. He sets his scoop down on the ground and snuggles up without a sound. Shh. Good night, excavator. Good night. Do you remember what a boom is? We talked about this with the first vehicle. This long arm here is called a boom. These big trucks, so tough and loud, they work so hard, so rough and proud. Tomorrow is another day, another chance to work and play. Turn off your engines, stop your tracks, relax your wheels, your stacks and backs. No more huffing and puffing, team. It's time to rest your heads and dream. Look at all those trucks. Construction site all tucked in tight. The day is done. Turn off the light. Great work today. Now, shh. Good night. And that is the end. Good night, construction site. So now when you drive past a construction site that has all those trucks outside, you'll know what some of them are. Can you remember what that long arm on a truck is called? It's called a boom. And we saw that on the crane truck, and we saw that on the excavator truck. And then that part of the dump truck in the back, they lower that down. That's called the bed of the truck in the back. So that makes sense, right? He lowers his bed to go to sleep. Good night, construction site by Sherri, Duskey, Rinker, and Tom Lichtenheld. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this book. I know that it's a very short one, but we have even more fun next week, next Sunday, 8 p.m., right here on River Road Productions, our new home. Yay! Thank you guys. I hope you liked that. Remember, stay creative, keep reading, and visit your local independent bookseller and keep them in business because they're kind of cool. And they give us really good suggestions on books that we should try. That being said, thank you Briar Patch Books for their suggestions, and good night, our River Road production site. I'll see you guys next Sunday.